Let's get into this game preview here, brought to you by BetUS. The Los Angeles Rams are at the Denver Broncos. This game will kick off at 6:05 p.m. Pacific time. The game is being held at Empower Field at Mile High. I did get the name of the stadium correct finally. It's always just Mile High, though. Really, it is always just Mile High. If you guys are going to be there, make sure you guys find me. I will be wearing my Color Rush Sheriff Joe Bags jersey. So you see a yellow jersey with a number 9 on it and a sheriff hat. Hey, guess what? That's me. Come and have a beer with me, all right? We'll be in Lot C, okay? That is usually the lot that I go with because when the Rams are coming out of the tunnel, I'm like right next to my car. So hang out, wait for the Rams to come out the tunnel, maybe get some stuff signed. I don't know if there's COVID rules on that, so don't quote me on that one. But I got my football to get signed. Hopefully that can happen. If not, hey, it's cool. Still get to see my boys out here in Colorado, which is always a good time. But Lot C is where we will be at. Probably as close to the stadium as I can get. That's where we were set up last time, 2018. It was snowing. Beautiful day. Loved it. Loved all of it. If you guys were there, you guys know what I'm talking about. But that's where we will be at. Lot C. Come have a beer with Sheriff Joe Bags before the season officially begins. Because we're getting real close to week 1. And this is the final one where we can kind of just have a good time at. You know what I mean? Where you don't got to worry about the score. But also, keep in mind here, the Broncos have been wrecking some souls in preseason. We'll talk about that here in a second with their scores. Let's talk about some game notes here, though. Running back is still a position to watch. None of the backups have really flashed yet. None of the backups have like exploded and been like, okay, that guy needs to be in rotation. Xavier Jones, I like. Jake Funk, I like. But are they doing enough to really pop into that and be the guy? You know what I mean? I don't think so yet. The Sony Michel move tells us that the coaching staff may have lost a little bit of confidence in that group over the last 2 games, whether that be because of production or injuries. We have seen 3 running back injuries. Luckily for Darrell Henderson, not a bad injury. Looks like just a sprained thumb. He'll be good for week 1, but we did lose Raymond Calais and Cam Akers for the entire season. Outside linebacker is still a pretty big battle right now. There have been a number of guys flash and some veterans at the position who could be hard-pressed to keep their roster spots with some of the production that's coming from the younger guys. I'm talking specifically about the production coming from Chris Garrett, 7th-round pick, and I want to say Justin Lawler was a 7th-round pick as well. So we've got a couple of late-round guys who are really performing well in these preseason games, and somebody like Terrell Lewis, who is still kind of nursing up a little bit, and Obadiah Okoronkwo, who I like a lot. I think he's got a really high motor, very talented player. But you know what? I mean, do we go with one of these other guys? You know what I mean? So do we keep Obo? Maybe move on from Lewis? I'll let you guys decide. Tell me what your guys' opinions are, but that is still a position group to keep some eyeballs on. And decisions have to be made at the cornerback spot. Dante Dion, Bronte Harris, Kareem Orr, and J.R. Reed all look to really be fighting for 2 roster spots. I did have, in my roster prediction, I did have Dante Dion and Bronte Harris as the ones making the team, with Kareem Orr and J.R. Reed being cut. But you know what? I think that a lot of that will come down to this game. I don't think that all the roster spots are set yet. I know I did my prediction, but that's only because we will be at the 53-man roster before I record again. So I need to get those in. So from what I've seen so far, from what I've heard so far, press conferences, I watch them all religiously. I see everything that the Rams put out. These are the guys that I've selected. Dion and Harris are my selections, but it is still, I believe it is still open. I do think that J.R. Reed or Kareem Orr could be fighting for that spot as well. The Broncos, they have been crushing their way through some preseason games so far. They have outscored their opponents 63-9 in 2 preseason games. They won 33-6 at the Minnesota Vikings and 30-3 against the Seattle Seahawks. But also, I mean, keep in mind that they've had a quarterback position battle underway. It has been solidified now as of today, which is Wednesday the 25th. It has been solidified now, but they've got 2 guys that they were playing as starters to try to evaluate, to come up with a solution to QB1. We do know that answer now, and I don't know how it impacts this game this weekend, but we do know that the Broncos have named quarterback Teddy Bridgewater as quarterback 1. That means Drew Lock will be the backup, so I do think we could see a pretty heavy dose of Drew Lock in this game. I'm not sure if we see any Teddy, but, you know, Teddy Two Gloves out here, he might get a couple of snaps. I wouldn't necessarily anticipate it, though, with him now being named the starter. Drew Lock, And do they still have Rippin out there? I can't remember, but I usually try to go to at least one practice up there in Denver. It's only like an hour and a half drive from me, but I didn't get to do that this year. Didn't really care for it, and also got to go to SoFi, which is way better to go to Broncos practice. So, but they have named their starter, like I said, that is Teddy Bridgewater. Quick revisit on our 3-C last week. I cannot confirm if Justin Lawler played in this game. I did not see him. I don't remember seeing him, but he did not get any stats. I was trying to look through and see if I could see him on the sideline or anything like that, or see him in the game. Maybe he just didn't register anything. That's my mistake, guys, I guess. That's please feel free to let me know if he was in there or not, because I could not spot him anywhere or find any information about him playing, but he did not play. We did have him as the 3-C last week. We also had Bronte Harris on our 3-C last week. He did notch 2 tackles and had that pretty sweet interception. It was like tipped up and stuff like that. I didn't think he was going to get to it in time, but that was pretty cool. Pretty sweet to see a pick from Bronte, doing such a good job in this preseason. I really think that he's going to make the team. And then we also had tight end Jacob Harris, who actually, very light day for Jacob Harris. He had just 1 reception for 2 yards and a touchdown. It was that last second touchdown. I think there was, 16 seconds left on the clock, something like that. And then he was the target for the 2-point conversion, but it was overthrown by Bryce Perkins. Our 3-C this week, we'll start with running back Sony Michel or the running back group. I don't know if Sony Michel is going to be playing this one. We might have that information. So if, Sean McVay is saying right now to reporters that Sony Michel is playing and or not playing, well, probably not and not playing, that wouldn't make any sense. If he's playing or not playing, then you know what? Then ignore that aspect of it. But we also got the running back group, who I still think is an important position group to watch. It is unclear whether or not we will see Michel suited up for the final preseason game. It would be nice to see him just get like a couple of carries, just get a little bit of a rhythm. I don't even know what number he's wearing yet. I haven't seen it. All photos I've seen have been blank jerseys of him, so not even sure if we have a jersey number set up for Sony Michel at this time. But hey, it'd be cool to see him out there, just to get a couple little reps in there, you know what I mean? But if not, we're still waiting to see some flashes from some of the guys that we currently have. Xavier Jones and the Funk Train, Jake Funk. They've both played pretty solid, but they have not given us like those wow plays. Neither of these guys has broken off a run where we're like, dang, like that was awesome. I don't even think I've high-fived over a Funk carry. You know what I mean? So I want to see some flashes, man. So maybe in Denver, we'll be able to see it. I know that the last time that the Rams were in Denver, Todd Gurley had his best game of his career, rushed for like 226 or something like that. He went off in Denver the last time. So maybe that's a little bit of a good omen. Maybe Rams coming to town, we can run that football. I guess in 2010, though, Steven Jackson only had like 76 yards, I think, something like that. That was really the Sam Bradford party in that one. Who was it? Matthew Mulligan had 2 touchdowns. Oh, man. 2010 was a long time ago, guys. Oh, yeah. So we're still waiting to see some of those flashes from our young running backs here. We'll also take a look at some offensive line depth in our 3-C. I've kind of grouped them back in. Last week we went player specific. Didn't really work out. We had pretty light days from everybody I said to watch for. But offensive line depth. Some guys have popped, some guys have disappointed. Bobby Evans played really poorly against the Raiders, but Shelton played really strong. Evans' issue in his career has been consistency, but he does tend to bounce back after a poor performance. It seems, historically speaking, for Bobby Evans, he tends to have a bad game, and then he has a really strong game. So I'm looking for that to happen in this one. And then can Chandler Brewer, Jeremiah Colon, A.J. Jackson, or Jordan Meredith do enough to bump someone else off the roster? I'm not necessarily sure that that's even possible, but it's something I'm keeping an eye on. And the offensive line group, Justin Lawler and Chris Garrett have shown quite a bit in this preseason. It may be just enough for them to make this team and to bump somebody like Terrell Lewis and or Ogbonnaya Okoronkwo off of the roster. Leonard Floyd and Justin Hollins figured to be the starters, but Lawler and Garrett, they've absolutely earned some reps. So we got to keep that going, hopefully, and maybe this week we'll get some good stuff. Rams fans, it means the absolute world to me that you made it all the way to the end of the video. I do sincerely appreciate it. If you guys have not already, make sure you guys subscribe. That'll be on this side here. If you guys liked this clip, I guarantee you're going to like the entire show. So check that out on this side. Thank you. Go Rams!